Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, the panel, for being here. I appreciate you holding this hearing today. Small business is a critical component of our economy, and as we focus on ways to restore the economic growth and end this downturn, we must keep small business in the forefront of our efforts. As small business owners experience tightened credit and lower sales in this difficult economic environment, it's crucial for us to ensure that there are assistance programs available to help them meet their challenges. Entrepreneurial development assistance programs have a proven record of helping our businesses grow. Yet the last time these programs were reauthorized was a decade ago. Since then, these programs have not modernized to meet today's small business needs. We must provide programs with adequate funding in order for them to revamp their programs towards guiding small businesses through these new financial obstacles. I just have a few questions. First, I want to say hello to Ms. Kilhofer. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, so we are neighbors, and I've been to St. Mary's many times. It's a beautiful area of the country. I did have a question for you regarding the long-distance learning and wondering what obstacles you see for economically disadvantaged individuals to have access to this technology and benefit.
Well, working for a community education council that is to be the hub of those, the only obstacle would be that any individual who does not have access within their home to a computer or whatever is tied to our hours. But our hours are anywhere from 7 in the morning until 10:30 in the evening. So they have to come to us, yes, to access online through computers. The distance education technology in regard to interactive television, that is, again, tied to our hours and whether or not it's in use. But for the individual to do it from their home, if they have access to a computer, that's great. Not everyone in our county does.
Right, and broadband.
It's gotten much better, I am pleased to say. So that's not necessarily a problem any longer.
Okay. And the distances, how far do people have to travel to get to the center? I mean, how far outreaching?
Our service area is defined as Elk and Cameron counties, but we're finding that we have a large increase in the last 2 years of people from surrounding counties who are willing to come to our facility because it is easier, shorter, I don't know if it's better roads, whatever, than going to State College is an hour and a half, Clarion's an hour and a half, Erie is 2 hours away, and those are hubs of education and learning. Even the Small Business Administration, the Small Business Development Centers that are in our area are those distances away. So what happens is they come to us, the representatives come to our facility and meet with the clients there. So we find that we're centrally located for the people that we serve.
So you think it's adequate in terms of... Okay, appreciate that. Mr. Saley, I have a question for you. H.R. 1803 will create a special service disabled veterans grant program. As compared to soldiers who fought in previous wars, do you see as any new needs, if any, that these brave men and women might need to have dealt with before starting a business, or while starting a business?
Thank you very much. That is an excellent question, and one of the biggest problems and disparities with regard to these conflicts as opposed to earlier conflicts is really the enormous call-up of our Guard and Reserve forces. Our Guard and Reserve forces have, and it's very difficult to get the exact numbers out of the Department of Defense, but anywhere from 15 to 25% small business ownership. And what's going to happen is small business owners who wanted to dedicate part of their patriotic time to serving their country are going to stop doing it when they realize that they are not being supported with their small business efforts when they come back or before they leave. If I can get a hold of a Guard or Reserve member who's a business owner before they leave, 12, 14, 18 months before they leave, I can help them put in place certain safeguards and plans that can help keep their business viable, maybe not as profitable as it would have been, but at least viable while they're gone. The money for these types of programs absolutely just doesn't exist. And earlier we heard some testimony with regard to how these grants are sustained over many years, and some of the centers may be becoming a little stale over years. The truth is that I've been doing this for almost 6 years now, and getting matching funds is hard enough, But getting funds to completely support an entrepreneurial outreach center is very, very difficult in today's nonprofit community, because philanthropic organizations really want to put their money toward disease or children or literacy. So we're really far down on the pecking order. These grants are absolutely critical to keep a viable economy moving, because as we spend money on these TARP programs and bailing out the big businesses are failing because the little businesses are failing. Big business absolutely can't survive if little business isn't there to support them. They're some of the major purchasers, some of the major suppliers. So if we start to support the small businesses, it will just by nature support the larger businesses, who will then have more food to eat. So these programs are critical.
Do you have any statistics on veterans who've had, small businesses, or I want to say maybe they aren't veterans yet, they're in the Guard,
Sure.
possibly reserves, and then go serve and come back and their businesses have failed?
I can tell you that based on my client base, one of two things happens. When they leave, they either put their business on ice or they sell it. When they come back, if their business has been on ice, it's almost like starting over again. And the veterans and the Guard and Reserve members who face the biggest challenges are those who have purchased franchises. And while franchises are trying to be as compassionate as possible, they're in business as well, and they need their franchise money. And the other thing is, with loans, outstanding loans with regard to large equipment, the USERRA Act and the Soldiers and Sailors Relief Act that protects veterans who deploy and come back with personal loans, but not for business loans.
Okay.
So.
Thank you very much. I have one last question for Mr. Klotz. I just wanted to ask you for some specifics, because one of the key programs in HR 1845 calls for establishing Green Entrepreneurs Training Program. However, this is kind of short on details, and I was wondering what would qualify as a green program.
That's a question we've been struggling with for about 6 months in our center, trying to define that very thing. Because almost anything a company does or intends to do can be done greener. I think we're looking at startup companies that are looking to retrofit businesses or homes to use less energy. I think that's going to be a growth area. We'll have a significant bump in number of solar and wind powered startup companies. We'll see some of that. It's a difficult question, but important question you ask. And I think all of us at SBDCs, I know, are still trying to define what that is.
I appreciate it.